Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to show you cool things you can do with Google Sheets. And here is a little, kind of just like a home page I made for the daily COVID data here in Anoka County. And you can see I've shared it with actually some district people. And I don't want to go in and make a mess of this while I'm making this video. So what I did was just click on File, Make a Copy, and I made a copy of it right here. Now I can go ahead and make a mess of this one and they won't have to see me making a mess of it. So here we go. I am using the data from our sources. So each week they're updating on cases per 10,000. I just highlighted that and made a graph as I have shown us before. And then what I did was I pulled the data from Anoka County's dashboard, and they're updating data on a daily basis. And I sourced, I can even click here, I can see where they're looking. Okay. I sourced the data and put it all in here on a daily basis, dated it. Then what I did was I went in and I calculated the percent change. And so in here I wrote some equations. And so this is looking at cell I-19, which is this one right here. And then what it's going to do is going to subtract 14 days ago, that cell. So it goes and works backwards up to, I think, this one. And what it does is subtracts that difference. So it shows the increase in cases or decrease in cases from 14 days ago. It divides by the original to give us the decimal of the percent. And then I multiplied it by 100 to turn that into a percent. So on today's update, which were cases done yesterday, we are showing a 72% increase from 2 weeks ago. And then what I did was I went into this column. Well, I labeled that column, highlighted the color up there, so I gave it a nice color. You can go to Format, and I went to Conditional Formatting, and in here you can add a color scale. And my little screen is in the way, but inside of here, so I added a color scale and a range, and it has a midpoint, midpoint, and maximum point, and you get to pick your colors for that, and it makes a handy little color scale for you. And so that is cool because then it changes our percentages. So it made all the negative percentages turn red, the green percentages turn darker reds based on how large the number is. Then what I did was I took these, I wanted to calculate the cases per 10,000 on a rolling 14-day period. And so what I did was I took and summed up this cell and above it for 14 days. And then I divided that by the population of Anoka County, then multiplied it by 10,000 to give us the cases per 10,000. And here we can see last week we were in the green zone still, both hybrid, but just over the weekend here, the cases have increased a lot over the weekend. And you can see how we have crossed that 30 per 10,000 threshold. And even as I put in more new days in here, oops, I'll go to the dashboard when that comes out at about 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, or today, whenever you're watching this. But I can scroll that down, and it will update my data for me. Wait until that data comes before we do that. Kind of slick how it auto updates for me. All I have to do is scroll down, and it will just keep on updating those items for me. And then I color coded these again using that conditional formatting. I just went to Format, Conditional, and if the value is greater than or equal to 30, I made it yellow. Less than or equal to 29.999, I made it green. And then I just added in this part here. I just manually typed that, but I could have made conditional saying if this number was less than 30, state this. If it's bigger than 30, state this. So that's a way to use colors to help you kind of keep everything organized. And then I took all that data, I hit Control, and I actually went Control, I highlighted down further. I highlighted down there and then down here. So when the new days come, I can just add in these numbers, or I can even show you here. add in a new number, and it will automatically graph those for us. Just kind of slick because we don't have to like highlight all of that again. It will just make it for us. And I did that by going and just hitting Control and scrolling into the future. All right. Well, I think that was it. Hopefully you learned something. All right.